If you play Razor at all, surely you've wondered how much damage Razor's Constellation 4 gives him, as it is considered his most important upgrade. It is called Bite, and it reduces enemies' defense by 15%, but how does that translate to damage done? Let's find out. However, we can't use Razor to test this directly, because his first Constellation gives him more damage after he uses his elemental skill, which distorts the results. So, we will use Bennett, and make sure he has no crit items which could disturb the testing. Fortunately, damage done in Genshin is consistent, with no randomness to it, so a single trial will suffice. First, we find a Ruin Guard and hit him once with a normal attack and elemental skill, before we use Razor to reduce the Ruin Guard's defense by 15%. Then, we hit him again with a normal attack and elemental skill, and then compare the difference in damage done.
Off we go.
On the left, we have the damage done before the 15% damage reduction, and on the right, we have the damage after. We see here an 8.7% damage increase in physical damage against the Ruin Guard. In the next slide, an 8.2% damage increase in pyro damage against the Ruin Guard. And for good measure, I tested it again on a Fatui pyro agent to see whether negative resistances made a difference. Here we see an 8.4% damage increase in physical damage against the pyro agent, and lastly, an 8.4% damage increase in pyro damage against the pyro agent. On a final note, I will leave you here with the estimated damage boosts the first two constellations give Razor. Since bonus damage and critical strike chance both interact with other parts of Razor's kit, the exact damage bonus you see from these constellations will differ from person to person. However, these values here I've provided will be what most Razor players see using a standard physical damage build. As you can see here, Bite is indeed the biggest damage increase, particularly because it increases the damage of all the members in your party, not just Razor. Thanks and see you next time.